All right. Last week we went over a grammar topic, direct object pronouns, right? This week I want to do some practice with that topic. Now, last week's class had very little participation, probably because everybody was in exams. But I do need to know if you all understood the topic, right? And if you feel like you can use it when you're writing and speaking in Spanish, right? Okay, so we did object pronouns, and we went over what were the direct and what were the indirect, right? So we have on the screen just the direct object pronouns. So if for some reason you were absent last week and did not look at the recording, this is your heading, direct object pronouns. Right? All right, so me is me, right? How we would say me in English. Te is you. Lo is him, la, her, or either one of them could be it, or either one of them could be you, formal, right? Usted. Nos is us. We don't do vosotros, so we'll just cross that out again. Los, las, them, or ustedes, right? You, formal again. Right. So if the noun that's being replaced is I, is me, then I would use me. If it's you, I would use te. If it's a masculine object, I would say lo. Or a masculine person, I would say lo. If it's feminine, I would say la. If it's us, if we are being replaced, nos. And if they are being replaced, so them or you plural, ustedes, then los or las, depending on gender. Right? Okay, 1 second, guys. Okay. Now, we have a little exercise below where we're going to replace the noun with the appropriate pronoun, right? All right, so first one is an example, right? The instructions say, identify the objects in each sentence and rewrite it using pronouns, direct object pronouns, right? So find the object, that's the thing that comes after the verb, and rewrite it using direct object pronouns. Okay, so Marcela encontró su billetera en el auto. Marcela found her wallet in the car, right? All right, so billetera, we can see is feminine because it ends in an A. So the object pronoun it takes is la. All right. Next question. So what you could do if you, well, I think that a lot of you are fast writers, so you could write out the sentence. Let's do 2 to 5 together, and then I'll let you try 6 to 10 on your own, right? All right. El niño olvidó el juguete en su escuela. What does this sentence mean? What can you discern? If it's not everything, what can you understand? Some of these words are easy words, so what does number 2 mean? All right. The boy, el niño is the boy, right? Forgot his toy, el juguete. So if this is the verb, forgot, the toy, right? This is the object. So el juguete is the object. So we need to replace el juguete. What are we replacing it with? It, and it's masculine. So we go to lo, right? All right. So el niño lo olvidó en su escuela. He forgot it in his school. Now let's also note a rule here, which is that object pronouns are placed before the verb. And there are, of course, exceptions to that. But the general rule is object pronouns are placed before the verb. Okay, number 3. Tengo que comprar las rosas para el evento. Tengo que from tener que plus the infinitive to have to do something. All right, so I have to buy. So this is the verb, las rosas. So the roses, that's the object. What gender is this? It ends in an A. So feminine, and what number is it? It's plural. So in English, we would say I have to buy them. So we're looking for the word to replace them for feminine and plural. So we go to them and we will use las, right? So tengo que, now here's one of the exceptions, join to the infinitive, comprarlas para el evento. So the second rule, first main rule is that the object pronouns are placed before the verb. The next main rule is that they are joined to an infinitive. All right, number 4. After we've done the exercise, I'll give you some time to know the placement rules. All right. Yo debo encontrar los documentos ahorita. Right, so deber que, another one for should, similar to have to. Not deber que, sorry, deber. Right, so should to must, as in you must do something. So I should or I must find the documents. No. All right. So los documentos this time is our object. It comes after the verb. Yo debo encontrar. All right. So documents is masculine, ends in an O, and feminine. So I have to find them. I should find them. I must find them. I go to los, right? Yo debo encontrar los. All right. Why don't you guys try 5 and 6? You could just tell me what the answer is in the chat. And then we'll decide if we're doing the rest or if we're moving on to something else. Okay, let's try 5 together, right? At least let's find the object. Fernando ayuda a María y a mí. So this is the object, a María y a mí. So who did he help? He helped Maria and I, right? Maria and me, rather. Right? So, okay, so Maria and me will be us, right? So we go up to nos, and we would have Fernando nos ayuda. All right, number 6. I will stop at 6, right? Pedro cuida al gato y al perro. Pedro took care of the cat and the dog. So this is our object. Al gato y al perro. So them. Pedro cared for them. Now, both gato and perro are masculine. So we'll go to los, right? So Pedro los cuida. Let's just go over a few rules. For where object pronouns are placed. I apologize, everybody coughing. All right, now I hope that you all would have noted tenerke, that rule about tenerke, that we use tenerke plus the infinitive to say to have to do something. And also that you know the verb deber, which is should or must or to, right? All right. Let's go over. I'm just gonna write it on the side here because there's space, right? Rules of object pronoun, of direct object pronoun placement. All right, so there's the first one. Object pronouns, sorry, direct object pronouns are placed before the, I'm gonna put in the word conjugated here. Right? So for example, you have sentence 3. Tingo K, no wait, sorry, sentence 2. Is there a shorter one? Yeah, okay, let's go with Fernando knows. So that's the object pronoun ayuda. So ayuda from ayudar, to help, is conjugated, and we put it in front of the conjugated verb, right? All right, second rule. When there is an infinitive, object pronouns are placed after an infinitive. Right? So the example is tengo que comprarlas. Right? I have to buy them. So we've added it to the infinitive. And a third rule has to do with imperatives. But affirmative commands, right? Imperatives is, that means commands. So affirmative commands, when you're telling people to do something, right? We place them. Let me rephrase this. We join them to the command. Right? So it becomes part of the command word. Right. So up above, I had the example, tengo que comprarlas, meaning the roses, right? So if I say that to you, tengo que comprarlas, and you say to me, well, buy them. I have to put the example higher because I'm out of room. Right? So the example is going up here. Comprarlos. Let's make it a formal command. So let's change this A to usted comprarlos. Well, comprarlas, sorry, because the roses are feminine. Right? So all of this is one word. Comprarlas. Right? And because I add in an extra syllable in the word, I have to put in an accent to keep the stress on the right syllable, right? Right, so these are basic rules for where we place object direct object pronoun. Right, so our next activity, and I can send the link for this during the break, link for this worksheet. During the break, right? We want to go through irregular past participles, but We can save that for after. Let's look instead at this comprehension passage, right? Il florero roto. Now, what is florero? As we go through the passage, any vocabulary you meet that is unfamiliar, right? Please make a note of it, right? Roto is, sorry, broken. Right? So it's a passage about a broken vase, although the broken vase only makes an appearance at the end. Okay, let's get started here. Es una tarde agradable de primavera y el señor García acaba de volver de la oficina. Esta tarde tiene que preparar la cena porque su esposa ha ido a Vigo a pasar unos días con sus padres. Okay, let's break down this first paragraph. Tell me what meaning you gather from it. Any phrase, any piece of it that you understand, what does it say? All right, so what time of day is it? It tells us tarde, so what time of day is it? Right, it's afternoon, evening, sure. Right? Is it a pleasant one? What does agradable tell us? Is it raining? Is it stormy? Doesn't this look like the English word agreeable? So pleasant, a pleasant evening. Right? Now, what is primavera? Right, spring, good. So it's a pleasant springtime evening or afternoon, and El Señor Garcia acaba de, okay, so just now we learned about tener que plus the infinitive, right? And now we have acabar de plus the infinitive, which means to have just done something. Right? So for instance, acabo de escribir este note. I just wrote this note. Acabo de sentarme. I just sat down. Right? So acabo de volver. So he just what? What is volver? When we volver a casa, for example, what do we do? Ah, good guess. We return. All right. So to clean is limpiar. Right. So he just returned from the office. Now, what does he have to do today? Esta tarde tiene que, so there's that tener que again. Tiene que preparar la cena. So what does he have to do? Preparar looks like one English word, which it means also. Right, he has to prepare. Good. And what is he preparing? La cena. What is la cena? Dinner, right. Okay. Because, su esposa ha ido, so we just did the perfect tense. Here it is. Has gone to Vigo, a place named Vigo. Why is she going there? Did she leave him? A pasar unos días con sus padres. So what does that say? Who did she go to visit? Yes, now padre normally means father, right? And madre means mother. The thing is, if just as with if you're referring to all the students in a class, you would put los estudiantes, even if they are boys and girls. We're referring to mother and father, we say padres, sus padres, right? So parents, she's going to spend some time with her parents. Pasar unos días, to spend some time, some days. To spend a few days, the better translation is a few days, right? We would say los estudiantes unless all the students were female. All right, next paragraph, right? Well, actually, I'll leave it up and you can read ahead, but please take some time and note any vocabulary that you're now meeting. Tener que plus the infinitive, acabar de plus the infinitive are very important expressions for you to know if you're going to speak Spanish, right? Okay, let's look at next paragraph, right? Mercedes ya ha comenzado a preparar la cena. So we said preparar la cena was to make dinner, right? What is this expression? Ya ha comenzado. What has she done? If your dad had to make dinner, would you leave him alone in the kitchen? Would you leave everything up to him? Is your dad a good cook? She has begun to prepare dinner. Good. Right, right. Okay, so let's note this expression. You want to say you've already done something. Yeah, plus the verb, right? Let's say yeah, plus the conjugated verb. Right? Yeah is literally already. So you already did the action. All right. Now, y Enrique ha puesto la mesa. So in passing, we haven't met puesto yet, right? But we were talking about the perfect tense or something. In passing, I might have mentioned poner la mesa. I think it may not have been this class. It could have been the other class. I don't know. But poner la mesa, so ha puesto la mesa, so we're in perfect tense, right? Is to set the table. Not something everybody does, but it used to be done a lot more. Maybe it's done more in Spain if a family is going to eat, right? So Enrique has set the table. El señor Garcia ha abierto. So this abierto comes from abrir, to open. Right, now what did he open? What is la puerta? What is el cuarto de estar? Right, the door of the, which door? The door to which room? Okay, so let's reason it out, right? If it's el cuarto de estar, estar is to be. So what room is really made for you to just be in, to just exist? The living room, right? Yes. Do we know another word for living room? What's the other word we know for living room? Sitting room. Yeah, okay. Sometimes we call it la sala. We might just call it la sala. What even la sala de estar? All right. So, y ha entrado, and he has entered, right? Pero no se ha sentado. What is that? No se ha sentado. So to start over the sentence, el señor Garcia ha abierto la puerta. So Mr. Garcia opened the door, has opened the door of the living room and has entered. But what? What is no se ha sentado? Right, he is not sitting down. No se ha sentado. So well, se ha sentado because sentarse is reflexive, right? So that's where that se came from. And ha sentado has sat, right? So he has not sat down. And the no tells us not. Why? Why not? Porque no encuentra su pipa. What does that mean? What is he looking for? And pipa is very close to the, and very old-fashioned, a word. Very close to the English word. His pipe, right, yes. He has not found his pipe. Okay, so la pipa, right? The pipe. Okay, now what about, explain to me that in encuentra. What is the infinitive of encuentra? I can erase all the green now, right? Is encuentra very strange to us? What do you think it could mean? Because he's opened the door, but he hasn't sat down because he cannot something his pipe. So it can only be a few things. It could be he has not lit his pipe, he has not, there it is. He has not found his pipe. He has not cleaned his pipe, he has not, but it's really fine, right? So encontrar is the infinitive to find. It is stem changing, O to UE, right? So it's no encuentra for that reason. I say hasn't found his pipe. Okay, so a minute to note any vocabulary that is new. you haven't noted yet. There are many useful expressions on this page, right? Like how to say things using ya, poner la mesa. So I need to erase what is down here, right? Actually, let's just get rid of everything. Okay. All right, so so this is Mr. Garcia speaking here, right? Do my ends have tildes? The ones on top have tildes, but here they don't have tildes. So we'll have to put in the tildes. All right. And the accents as well. Okay. Enrique, ¿has visto mi pipa? He olvidado donde la he puesto. Right, let's unpack this. What is he must be asking? We know the context. What must he be asking? He must be asking, Enrique, have you seen my pipe? Okay, so visto is from ver to see. The past participle, just like with puesto and abierto, they are irregular. When we are done with this comprehension, we'll go through the list of the irregular past participles, but it would have been too much for grammar, piled one on top of the other to just do it after the object pronouns, which I feel like the class is not a fan of anyway. All right, so ver is to see, right? So have you seen my pipe? We already wrote that. I'm not going to write it again. All right. And he says, he olvidado. I have what? Olvidado from olvidar, which means what does olvidar mean? Have we met olvidar before? Olvidar is to forget, right? So I have forgotten. Right, I have forgotten. Where? All right, unpack this. La he puesto. Puesto is put. So what must he be saying? He must be saying, I have forgotten where puesto from poner, which we saw earlier, which set the table, poner la mesa, right? But it means to put. It's just by itself. So I have forgotten where I have put it, right? So here is our object pronoun to replace pipa, it. Okay, so there's our object pronoun in action. And we're gonna see it again because everybody's gonna keep saying it now. It. Right. And so here's Enrique. No la he visto, papa. So what does that mean? No la he visto. I have not what? I have not seen it. Very good. Right. And he suggests quizás. So I have not seen it. Right. So there's the it in front of the conjugated verb. The conjugated verb is he visto. Right. What is quizás? La has dejado, dejar, meaning to leave, right? So perhaps, oh, sorry, quizás is perhaps, right? So this is an important word. right? Quizás means perhaps. Right, perhaps you left it in la cocina. What room is the cocina? In the kitchen, right? Let's find the next line. If there's anything that I went over and then I erased this, you didn't get a chance to notice or you don't understand it, tell me, right? All right, so Mercedes joins the oh well, actually this first part is supposed to be italicized. I'll put it in brackets. So she's not, this first line is not her speaking. So ha entrado mientras están hablando. So she has entered from entrar to enter. Put it up here. All right, here's another useful word. If we haven't met it before, mientras, meaning while they are talking, right? Están hablando. And she says, que buscan? From buscar, to look. So she's saying, what are you looking for? All right, it's 5:28. I'm gonna speed up a little bit for the passage. We're almost to the end. And then we'll take a break and then come back and do the questions. So he says, mi pipa. Okay, the second line is no la he visto. I have not seen it, right? And the infinitive is there to see. That is written up here. Right, so my pipe, I want to smoke a little, un poco, antes de preparar la cena. Right, so this, sorry. I don't know what this cough is about. Quiero from querer, to want. Right? It is stem changing, i.e., so it becomes quiero. Fumar, to smoke. And taste it before. Now, guys, you only need to take down the ones that are unfamiliar to you, right? So if you know some of these, you do not need to write them down again. All right. Mercedes says, right, we're almost to the end. La, so object pronoun, has dejado. So you have left. We said dejar was to leave. You have left it en la mesa pequeña. So la mesa is the table and the small table, on the small table. No la ves, you don't see it. So there's an a la again, the object pronoun. Right? Está a la izquierda. So a la izquierda, on the left, or to the left of that blue vase. Right? Remember, we said at the top, florero was vase. Well, given the title, you'll know what's going to happen soon, right? Okay, so Senor Garcia says, sí, la veo. Veo from ver again, to see. So he says, yes, I see it. Thank you, Mercedes. Right. Now, a little drama. He is going to get it. Va a cogerla, pero resbala y tropieza con la mesa. El florero cae al suelo. So lots of verbs here. All right, so coger, to get, to pick up. To take, in the sense of like to take up, right? Resbalar from, so resbala from resbalar, to slip. right? And then we have tropezar con la mesa. So I bet you could guess what that is. He bumps into the table. He hits the table, right? Tropezar, to bump into, right? The vase, caer, caer al suelo, from caer to fall, right? Al suelo. To the floor. El suelo is the floor, right? Right. And Mercedes says, and here's the last line. Ah, ¿qué has hecho? What have you done? So hecho from hacer, to do, right? Está roto el florero. Sorry, that was the second to last line. And he says, sí, hija, lo he roto. I broke it. Right? Yes, daughter, lo he roto. I broke it. And the it agrees this time with the florero, so it's low masculine. Right? Right. Well, there's more to the story, which is not here in the passage. It turns out this is the mother's favorite vase, and so they're worried she's going to be upset when she comes back, and sees the vase broken. But there's a twist. When she comes back, she comes with this mysterious package wrapped up in. I'm never gonna give you all this, so I can tell you. Wrapped up in paper, and they can't see what it is, and they get it inside. And when they open the package, dum dum dum, is another vase exactly like this one. She found one, and she bought it. So she wasn't mad. All right. I'm giving you all a moment to update your vocab list. And then we will take our break, which is overdue now. Okay. These should be really easy since we spent so much time translating the passage. Right. Which member of the Garcia family is absent and why? So that's our answers. What is our answer? Remember, y'all could send the answers in the chat, right? Okay. So his wife is absent, right? The mom is absent. You could also say Mrs. Garcia is absent. Why? She went to visit her parents, right? You could even say she went to Vigo to visit her parents. All right, next question. What is Senor Garcia responsible for? What is he responsible for? Tonight he has to do what? Oops, no, that's not him. Tiene que preparar la cena. So he has to prepare dinner. He's responsible for preparing dinner. Right? All right. What has Mercedes done? Now we're ready for her here. Ya he comenzado a preparar la cena. So the passage tells us, this. So she has already started dinner. Okay, what has Enrique done? I'm gonna highlight where the answers are. What has Enrique done? What is Senor Garcia looking for? Where is it? What happens when he goes to pick up the item? All right, so 2 minutes, organize your thoughts, and then we're gonna go through all together. We had time to organize our thoughts. So what has Enrique done? He has set the table. What is Senor Garcia looking for? He is looking for a pipe, his pipe. Where is it? So this answer is a little more complicated. It is on, so it is on the small table to the left of the blue vase, right? All right. What happens when he goes to pick them up? So this is 7. He slips and bumps into the table. And the vase falls to the floor. And breaks, right? Okay. All right. We can clear all this away. Everybody has all the answers. Okay, so let's clear this away. Right. So then the next thing I want us to touch on is the irregular past participles. And there are quite a few of these, right? All right. So escribir to write. So you're heading up past participles, irregular past participles, right? Now we went over the way to form the regular one. So this is the reminder. Hablar, you would take off the AR and you would add ADO, right? Comer, you take off the ER. So ER verbs, take off the ER, you add IDO, so it would be comido. Add vivir, take off the IR, and you would add IDO as well, right? So that's for normal formation of past participles. All right. So for escribir, past participle is escrito, right? So written. So if you want to say I have written, he escrito. Hacer, to do. The past participle is hecho. Deshacer, to undo, right? The past participle is deshecho. So you'll notice that if the verb is part of a compound verb, so hacer is part of this deshacer, the same rule applies to that part, right? All right, morir, muerto. Romper, roto, broken, like we just met. Volver, written, vuelto. Abrir, abierto, open. Decir, dicho. Poner, puesto. Ver, visto. Sin, cubrir, cubierto. And then this cubrir is a compound verb, right? So descubierto. So we just need to memorize these for when we need to use them, right? If you have questions, let me know, please. Yeah, yes, we have to write it. We have to write it. No, but it's staying up. It's staying up. You can take your time, write it down. All right, so I would like you to take down what is on the left-hand side here, right? If an ER or IR verb stem ends in a vowel, so it's ER and IR verbs that cause this problem, right? Then the past participle is written with an accent over the I. Right? So we would write it like this. Right? I think I'm gonna handwrite these for the sake of time. So ido, attracted. Right? Caído. All right, I apologize, guys. I have a little invader here. Okay, just now, babe. Just now. Just now. Just now, right? All right. Creer, creído. Right? Believed. You know, in a sanctum has been disrupted. Right now, even if you all are meeting some of these verbs for the first time, you could figure out the infinitive from the translation of the past participle, right? Leído, read. Oído, heard. All right, poseído, possessed. All right, reír to laugh, right? So reído, laughed. Sonreído, so again, with the compound verb, right? Reír is part of sonreír, to smile. Traer, traído. Traer, to bring, so brought. Right, I will notice that the last two on the list are UIR verbs. So these are not accented. Construido, constructed. destruido, destroyed. Right, now why are these on the list if they are normal? They don't have an accent. Why do we have them on the list? Because the rule said if the stem ends in a vowel, that means when you take off the AR, the ER, the IR. Right, so you take off the IR, it ends in a vowel, you put an accent. But these are exceptions to that rule. So they are actually normal. So I just put them in there to highlight, right? All right, so let me know if you have questions. This is the last thing we're going to do. So today we went over direct object pronouns, placement of direct object pronouns. We did a comprehension that illustrated perfect, present perfect tense and object pronouns, direct object pronouns, right? And then we went through the irregular past participles. If anyone has a request for something for us to do next week, you could let me know. Otherwise, we're going to work on more letter writing and past tense, right? So this is the last thing we're doing. We're going to finish a little early today. I know some of y'all still have tests, right? So I'm not going to drag it out. So you can finish up your note, and once you are done, you're free to log off, right?